Hello, and welcome to a Fortnight on the Isle, my bi-weekly update series. I once again completely forgot about this video until the day before it's coming out, right now when I'm recording it. So, that's always fun and exciting, but between weather being warm and really nice outside the past couple of weeks, been walking with a friend a lot, spent a lot of time doing other stuff that made it go by the last couple weeks, making certain IRL plans for big trips that I need to take pretty soon, real life employment drama for another friend, and then a work kicking my butt this week especially. Yeah, time has definitely flown by and it has been a lot. So let's stop wasting the time at the beginning of this video here and get right into what I read over the last couple weeks. The first thing that I will talk about is this is going to be the last time I'm mentioning the vague secret reading project that I'm doing for Christopher Rocchio now, because I finished that. I've completed all of my work on that project, and I'm actually corresponding with him about that right now. So if I look down at my phone over the process of recording this video, it's because I'm making sure I don't have a message that I need to immediately respond to. But my work on that is done. I will talk, actually mention what that project is in the next monthly reading wrap-up and TBR video. So here in a couple of weeks, 3 weeks I think, or something, 3 weeks from this Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken. I also finished The Fires of Heaven. In fact, I finished that this morning, and it's really good. Really good book. The last 80 pages were just spectacular. That the climax was super good. Comparable to The Dragon Reborn. Ironically, the two books that have the deepest, longest, and most fully fleshed out and best paced climaxes, being The Fires of Heaven and The Dragon Reborn, as my two favorite books, is kind of a funny thing because, well, that's one of my favorite things about reading in general. I love good wrap-ups and resolutions and climaxes, like that whole ending process. I just tend to get a whole lot of satisfaction from. So the fact that this one did that aspect really well after the rest of the book was really enjoyable. On top of it, it just made for a really great book that I had a fun time with. Can't wait to talk a little bit more about that on Thursday when I do the last spoiler discussion, the last Wheel of Time diary for the book. And then whenever the review for that will be coming out. I'm not actually sure when that will be off the top of my head. I think it's next month, middle of next month, but we will see. Otherwise, I spent a couple days reading a couple of shorter things. First, The Death of Ivan Ilyich. I did not read the other stories in here, just that one novella. And then Outer Dark by Cormac McCarthy. So these were two stories that I got through. One because I've been doing basically monthly McCarthy reading every month since December. Every month since October, skipping November, basically. And then Death of Ivan Ilyich is going to be the next Short Story Sunday video that I work on, since both of the ones for April are up. And in fact, one of those came out last week. The next one comes out next week. We'll talk about those releases a little bit more, but the first Short Story Sunday video in May will be on The Death of Ivan Ilyich, so I read that. It was very thought-provoking. I enjoyed that. Outer Dark, one of the better McCarthy books I've read so far, so I enjoyed this one. Thankfully, because if I continued to dislike more McCarthy books, I would be pretty upset. I'm still working on writing the Goodreads review for Outer Dark right now because it's just a lot to take in, and I haven't had a free moment to work on it. I was going to finish writing it yesterday at the time that I'm recording this, so on Friday, but then I had to finish the work on that secret reading project, and reviewing all of that took a lot longer than I thought it was going to do, or than I thought it was going to take. Did that sentence make sense? Sorry, I was reading messages, so that my sentence kind of wandered off. Anyway, those are the things that I read the last couple weeks, on top of reading the introduction to this Bachman Books collection that I have, because I am going to be doing my reread of Rage this month. So I didn't actually start reading Rage, but I did read the introduction to the collection again. Going to do that reread pretty soon, and I'm excited for it. So that's what I've got immediately on deck on that front. And I also read the forward to Infinite Jest not too long ago on top of that as well, because I'm going to be starting that this weekend. So those are going to be the projects that I have on my lap in the immediacy of this video. But otherwise, I'm just going to briefly do an update on my bi-weekly writing again, and I swear this is going to be the last of these back-to-back weeks where I did not get any writing done. I did do a short review on The Death of Ivan Ilyich on Goodreads. I'm going to soon do a review on The Fires of Heaven. I'm going to try to complete the review for Outer Dark today as well, or at least this weekend. And then I have a couple other projects that I need to work on. So Reign of Ash still didn't see any progress. I did, however, open the document for the first time the other night and gauge where I'm at to kind of get back in the right headspace. So that's progress, not any actual writing progress, but because I've got a ton of video projects to work on the rest of the month, and once all those are done and like that side of my productivity is taken care of for a little while, I should be able to get back to writing soon. And then I also have a couple video scripts for the second channel that I want to get done. So once the majority of May's and June's videos are done, writing is finally going to be a priority again, where it has not been since like halfway through February or something. It's been a while. As for the coming releases, which I did briefly go on just a tiny bit earlier in the reading section, I will have, 5 videos, of course, coming out on the main channel, and then 2 videos coming out on the second channel. Maybe more will come out on the second channel, but I kind of highly doubt it, just based off of the timing of certain things, but we'll see. For the main channel, this Tuesday will be my review of Murderous Fairies by Nicole Brona. So a friend of mine, her pen name, second book in Midnight Detective Agency. I think that review is actually really good. It's one of my more favorite reviews that I've done so far, to be completely honest. So that comes out on Tuesday. Next Tuesday, on the 21st, will be my top 10 read-alongs I meant to join but didn't have time for list. Just a random, I guess, kind of throwaway top 10 list that I wanted to do. Talk about some books that several friends have read or have been reading for the last couple of years, that I wanted to be able to join and read with them that I couldn't. So books that I have on a higher priority list than, say, some of the other books that just happen to be sitting on my shelves. So that will come out on next Tuesday. This Thursday will be that final Wheel of Time diary for The Fires of Heaven, where I'm going through those last 6 chapters, the last 80 pages or so. I'm probably going to be recording that video right after I'm done with this, just for the sake of having it done ahead of time. And then, like I said, because I finished the book this morning, I might as well do it while it's still fresh on my mind. Next Thursday will be a video that I'm very excited for. That was a discussion that I had with Christopher Rocchio and DJ Butler about Disquiet Gods. So I did my Disquiet Gods review not too long ago, just a couple of weeks ago. Came out a week before the actual book came out. And that review has done insanely well, actually. Just as a little side tangent real quick, that Disquiet Gods review is my 3rd most watched video on the channel, period. So that's pretty insane, and that means that it is my number 1 most watched book review. It is actually doing very, very well, so thank you to everybody who has been checking out that review. It's insane to me. That one's got earned me 10 or more subscribers alone over the past few weeks. So thank you to people who have joined because of that review. Thank you to people who checked it out. I really appreciate it. If you enjoyed the review, if you enjoyed my take on it, or if you enjoy Sun Eater in general, like I said, on Thursday the 23rd, I have a discussion that I did with Christopher Rocchio, the author of the series, of course, we all know that, and DJ Butler, who is the editor specifically for Disquiet Gods, about the book. There's a 30-minute or so, half-hour portion at the beginning of that video that is spoiler-free, so even if you haven't had a chance to read Disquiet Gods, or if you haven't read anything in the series either, actually, that whole first half hour is completely spoiler-free. Then we go into a spoiler discussion about Disquiet Gods, which therefore goes into stuff with the rest of the series as well, and that lasts, well, for the last hour of the video, but I want to say the last 20 minutes or so also includes spoilers for a couple of movies as well, which I specify in the description. So if you've read the book, you'll know what those spoilers are kind of discussing, but if you don't want to be spoiled for those movies and the specific way that similar elements are utilized in those movies, you might want to, be wary of that. So I did include those timestamps in the description and in the video with warnings and stuff just in case. But yeah, that discussion, an hour and a half long, I believe, will be out on the 23rd. I'm really excited for that one. Otherwise, next Sunday on the 21st, episode 8 of Short Story Sundays will be coming out, and that will be on A Tale of Jerusalem by Edgar Allan Poe. So that is the video schedule for my main channel. On the second channel, on the next couple Fridays, the 19th and 26th, Remnant from the Ashes Let's Play episodes 3 and 4 will be out. So this Friday will be like the republishing, the re-upload of the 3rd episode, which had already gone up several months ago. Episode 4 will come out officially next month, and that will be finally a new episode in that series. So I'm excited for all of that. A couple of videos that I'm going to work on in the background over the next couple weeks, but will most likely not come out this fortnight. Maybe will come out in Friday or in May. There we go. Language is just broken for me all of a sudden. Are a couple of brief album reviews, actually both EP reviews. One that I actually want to go back and finally cover, Orbit Culture's The Forgotten, so I want to do a brief thing on that. Northlane's new EP, Mirror's Edge, came out, and I have a lot that well, it's not like a lot that I want to say. That'd probably be a short video, but I do have something that I want to say about that one, so I want to write a review for it. Maybe I'll consider writing a review for a couple of the other major albums that have come out recently. But that, at the very least, I want to work on very soon as Mirror's Edge review. So we'll see how all of that goes. As for entertainment talk, just a quick March Madness recap, since I talked about that so much 2 weeks ago. It's over. And UConn won again, so back-to-back wins. Two years in a row. First time that has happened since 06 or 07. When Florida won 2 years in a row. But the rest of the Sweet 16, watching that a couple weeks ago, went largely terribly, so that was funny. The Elite 8 actually went pretty okay. I got half right, half wrong, but the ones that I got right were really exciting. The Final Four went terribly. I got both of the games that I predicted for that wrong. I was hoping for both upsets, and neither happened. Poor NC State, I was hoping they would at least make it all the way. And the championship kind of went great. I was definitely happy to see Purdue lose, and like I said, UConn won their back-to-back year, and that was kind of fun to see as well. So that's how that went. Otherwise, I started playing Star Wars Jedi Survivor, over the last couple weeks, about 16-17 hours in. Somehow I didn't think I'd played that much, but apparently I did. Still got a long way to go in it, but I am enjoying it. I'm glad that the performance on PS5 is not nearly as atrocious as it is on PC. So I have a good PC. I would like to play certain games on PC, but like that one, I wasn't going to take the risk on. If there's anything else to discuss as for entertainment talk the last couple weeks, I've already forgotten it, and it is long gone. I do plan to watch more movies and shows over the next few months with a friend, and so that we can maybe revitalize the podcast, but because of drama with employment, stuff like that going on right now, I have no idea if we'll actually be able to do that like we were hoping. We will see. As for music talk, since I did talk a little bit about music that has released recently, I do want to shout out a few of the releases that came out. For albums, Era released a new album called Cure, and I think I like this one a lot more than their self-titled from a few years back. I unfortunately didn't like self-titled very much. I also am not a huge fan of Neon, so it's Cure is the first album since Drift that I feel like I've really connected with. Even though there's one song on it that I really, really dislike, the rest of the album has some pretty good bangers on it. Everglow released a new album, Nocturnal No More, their first release since their initial EP. This, of course, is Alex Anglis' side project, he being the vocalist and main composer of Before I Turn. So if you're into Skyrim stuff, which I'm sure if you recognize Everglow in the name, if you are, I don't know, I'm pretty sure it's a reference to something in Skyrim, but if you are into Skyrim, and you like Before I Turn's musical style, Nocturnal No More is more of that, and in fact features a little bit of growth in Alex's vocal techniques. As for cleans, there's a lot of interesting decisions made there that I really liked and really respected as well. I wouldn't say it was my favorite album to release over the last fortnight, though. Imminence's The Black was probably my favorite album. There are some things about it that I don't love. I don't think it's the best thing to happen to metalcore like a lot of other people suddenly do. Nor am I a person who thinks that The Black is just a stupid pop song, because a lot of core fans heard that one single song and thought that the band was trash because of it, but whatever. The album is pretty good. There's several really good songs on it. I overall had a much better time with it than I thought I was going to because I wasn't super into most of the singles. As for EPs, like I said, Northlane released an EP called Mirror's Edge, which I wasn't too hot on, but I am pointing it out because it is a major release, and I know there are a ton of Northlane fans in the general music community that I am a part of, so that came out. If you happen to miss it, I do want to write a review about it because I do have plenty to say. But beyond the albums and EP, there are 3 singles that released that I do want to point out as being spectacularly good. That's a lie, there's actually 4. I'll pull up the 4th one here in just a second. Architects released a new single called Curse, which is surprisingly good. I don't think I like it quite as much as Seeing Red, but like it's pretty solid. And actually, I lied again, there's 5 singles that I want to point out here. So Architects' Curse is the first one. The next one was Like Laws the Flames, Dissociative Being, which I think might be my least favorite of the 4 singles so far, but I am very excited still for that new album to come out. Wage War released a new single called Nails, and even though Magnetic was a very not good single, like I found that to be supremely underwhelming, I actually kind of like Nails a decent bit. I didn't like love it, but I enjoyed it for what it was. Villain of the Story did a song with Taylor Barber of Left to Suffer, and that was called Spiral, and it's probably their heaviest song, as you might expect from a track featuring Taylor Barber, and I really liked that song as well. And finally, let's see if I can find it. There we go. I finally took a shot on the new Make Them Suffer singles, since they've gotten their new keyboardist and female vocalist. I wasn't very into How to Survive a Funeral as an album. Back when I was doing music reviews on this channel, those videos do not exist any longer. I did a review of How to Survive a Funeral, and I didn't really enjoy it that much. I thought it was one of the more overrated albums of that year. I think people's hype for the band at that point was like confusing to me. Some of the songs that were like the most popular, one of their most popular songs still, I just do not like at all. But I took a chance on these 3 new singles, and they're really good. And I say 3 new singles, 2 of them have been released, but I haven't talked about them in the past. But like the newest one especially that came out in the last couple weeks, Epitaph, amazing song. I actually really liked it. I think their new female vocalist is amazing, a lot better than the previous one was, that is for sure. And I definitely like the songwriting of these 3 singles a lot more than anything from that past album, so I'm actually looking forward to these guys' new album now, where I definitely wasn't before. But that is going to be the end of my very rambly and relatively long Fortnight on the Isle this time around. Thank you for checking it out and sticking around with me if you did for the whole thing. I really appreciate you. You guys are my favorite people. I'll see you guys on Tuesday for that review of Murderous Fairies, and Thursday for the Fires of Heaven finale diary. So thank you guys for watching one more time. I'll see you guys in the next video.